Good morning. It's Roz here, Roz Bounty Psychic Medium. Oh, Renna, good morning to you too. I've actually got the technology working properly as I have had it before the last couple of days, basically. I'm using my eCam through into my Be Live and it looks like it's working perfectly. It's going to the destinations as set. And we're going to have a lovely reading this morning, like we're going to have a lovely day. It's a beautiful day outside. There's a sunshine poking through. There's a little bit of clouds, but that could be the misty stuff. Good morning, Mary. Wonderful to see you here as well. And we've got Deb here. And Kat, you've mentioned it twice. Are you on 2 pages? And I've changed sex there, Roz to Rod, but that's okay. We do have our masculine and feminine sides, don't we? Oh, now I've still got that. Yeah, that's all right. I just noticed my webpage being listed there, so I do have that sitting there all the time, don't I? Good morning, Amanda. Lovely to see you here as well. And we've got Kerry Ann as well. Gee, I feel like Romper Room. For those of you who are old enough to remember Romper Room, oh, that's way back, way back, many, many years ago. It's probably around 50 years ago, my goodness. Anyway, so we're going to get into the reading. I'll switch over to the poem. I just noticed my hair was a bit cocky. Going over to have a look at the cards. Here we go. Oh, no, first one disappeared. You don't look like a rod. No, I don't. But hey, it's fine. That masculine side is within. Here we go. Now, I do have this streaming at the same time with the eCam. I've got that going through Periscope, Twitch, my Facebook page. No, my Facebook profile, I think it is, and the card reading group. So there's many different ways to be watching this, as well as the YouTube channel and mytimetv.live, which is where you guys are watching from. So that's great. And we've got Sarah, you're here this morning as well. Good morning. And you're always bummed because you never said your name in Romper Room. Hey, I had to wait many times for mine to show up too. We've got Turtle Miller here from over on Periscope, just as I'd mentioned that we've got the Periscope happening. And apparently that's going away in March. So what's in your future, you'll find out when you live it, Turtle. That's one of the things that, I don't really do a great deal of predictive. I do more the soul search, inner soul type readings rather than what's going to happen in your future. It does give some guidance, but I think I prefer it to be a surprise, honestly, in many respects. I think understanding ourselves is a lot more on purpose and functional. So here we go. We're getting into the cards. I've got the deck that we're using. So what I use is the Ciro Marchetti. He's the artist, and this is the deck called the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. So I do use the expanded edition. So that's the deck that I use. And here we've got the 5-card layout that I've been doing for quite a while now. So it starts here at the cross, being in the workspace. And we've got the choices or pathways. I'm not sure what it's actually called now. But anyway, it is about choice. So we'll call it that in the home space. We've got the older lady as the unexpected energies. The clover, wonderful card to have in your role. And in that central position of the outcome, we've got the labyrinth. So here we go for the actual reading. Now, remember to actually tune into your own intuition as we're reading through these. As much as I give my interpretation with my perspective bent on it and understanding, you may have some messages that pop up in your mind. Nah, that means that for me and blah, blah. You know, whatever it is for you is more correct than how I can interpret for you. So do tune into your own inner self and that awareness that you have along your own psychic abilities. I do believe very strongly that everybody has the ability. We just need to practice it and unlearn some of those habits we were taught many years ago. Here we go, cross in the workspace. I was a bit, that again. And in the work, what do we keep getting the cross for? We've had it a few times recently. It is about letting go stuff that's not your responsibility. That's what I'm feeling still is the task, especially in a workplace where you're working with others. Sometimes we do have that, the ability to pick up someone else's work when we don't really need to, or the responsibility that they need to be doing, that type of thing. And we can do that ourselves, even in what we do as a self-employed or a solopreneur or anything like that. We take on, well, most times we start that with everything being our role, our responsibility, our doing. We've got to be the jack of all trades. It's suggesting, I feel, that we need to be giving back to those who it is their job, their part of their job. And for yourself, maybe it's time to actually start to delegate out and see about having someone assist you, as in a virtual assistant, a VA, or go to an accountant to get your tax done, that sort of stuff. And that's my reminder. All of that type of thing. It's about the delegation. It's about not shifting just because you don't want to do it. It's seriously considering what is really your role, what are you best at, what do you love doing, and those little jobs that maybe you don't like, and I'm talking about the self-employed, like the solopreneur here, as doing your own business, to actually move on those sorts of tasks that aren't your forte and you're needing some help with. Social media planning, all that sort of stuff, your advertising and things around that. So, yeah, I agree, Mary. It is actually that, isn't it? Having that happen. Karen, good morning to you as well. Just to remind people, those who are on the other channels where I'm doing the eCam, which would be the Periscope, the Twitch, and the other two Facebook ones, you won't see the comments on screen that I put in with the Be Live at my time and the YouTube. So I haven't worked out how to do that double back of the commenting yet. I might one day, so that both channels both arenas have the same comments showing up. Now, so from that's what we need to be doing with our workspace, really shifting on and delegating out. Sometimes it might need to be that you're needing to pay a virtual assistant or someone, to actually have someone in your employment as a self-employed business. And if you are working for someone else, it only takes communication to work out now what's going to work best. Ask the boss if there's something that can be done about, it's communication. We are in relationship with people. Relationship means communicating. So consider that in your day-to-day. In the home space, what we've got is this pathways, the choices. It is day and night almost. I think this one's the day, that one's the night. I know that the light's reflecting badly on this at the moment, so you can't see it all that well. Let me see if I can bring it up so you can see it better. And it's not going to there. Sometimes it focuses really well, sometimes not. So with that card, decisions to be made, it is about absolutely making them. Once you've come up to that crossroad, the pathway moving into the two, it's one way or the other. No other way of being able to make this decision. So you can't just fluff around. you are going to be making a decision. So make them definitely, and move forward. Once you're actually moving through and up into that doorway that is your decision that you've made, know that it's the right one. Just have confidence and trust yourself that it's the right decisions that you're making. So step into that, step up to that door and move through it. Once, knowing, of course, that with any action that there is the consequences that go with it. Have that discernment before you actually move on your decisions, that it is the right one that you're wanting to move into, that is what you're wanting to move into. G'day, Emma. Lovely to see you here as well too this morning. So take those steps with assurance that you're moving in the right direction, okay, that you're choosing the right door, basically. Now, as far as the unexpected goes, I felt with this, I'll have some time today. This is the older woman. I do identify older woman with me, obviously, because I'm in that getting there, getting there stage. I'm no young chick anymore, and gee, the body feels like it. So henceforward, today I am going to have some time where I can reflect. I will have some waiting time. It's just spending that time in those moments. Drop into your daydream mode and think, contemplate, just look at those wonderful times, bring the memories forward in whatever way that you need to actually spend time with self and contemplating. It could be that you're actually needing to think a bit more about this part of your day in your home space before you actually take that next step that goes the either or. And just see what shines out most for you. So that's where that'll drop in at whatever time she's needed today. And take note, be aware, listen. A lot of what our communication is more listen rather than actually speaking out every time, listening with just that aim of what am I going to say next before you've actually really listening to what others have to say. And one of the most recent experience of that really has been, if any of you have heard of that newest, there's a lot of people talking about Clubhouse as that audio only, invite only type of social media something thingy. Yes, I've been invited on it and I've had some time. I did spend a bit of time last night just to listen, because the process for me will be sit in the background, lurk, just listen and see how it works, what the conversations are about. Is it really worth my time to actually be within that realm of another platform? But that was the most important part of my experience, was just listening and learning from that listening. So it's oh, thank you for that. Yeah, well, yes. That's what I find with the cards. They really are a great guidance, Emma. So do certainly listen before opening your mouth. I mean, my dad used to say, put your brain into gear before you speak. So part of that is actually listening first and learning and getting the gist of all that sort of stuff. Mary, yes, I have read reports. It's why I'm definitely not going to be jumping into the whole hog right away. It's why I will listen. It may have some benefits, it may not. Every system that we use, including the internet as a whole per se. You mentioned, yes, they've been getting hacked. Anywhere we can be hacked. We carry our portable devices, our mobile phones. There's always a potential they'll get hacked, identity, all of that sort of thing. It's being aware, having our eyes open and definitely listening, seeing what other people are saying as far as giving that sort of advice on what to do to keep yourself safe on the internet and all the rest of it, and different ways that we can remain safe. Life itself is actually, and here we come into our role, we've got the clover, the lucky card. Life itself really is potluck in so many ways. It's the way of understanding from our own experiences, our What do we really want to have happen in our lives? It's our dreams. It's the whole lot. Like I'd mentioned yesterday, we are born. We've already experienced that. We don't remember the actual process. Well, most of us don't. As far as ourselves goes, we're living our life now and we are going to die. In that process, it's all of that experience and what we have happen and who we are, the whole shebang of who we are. It really is like a drop in the ocean piece of luck in everything that we do, because there's so many different variables. But what we can just be who we are to the best, most authentic and knowingness that we have from our life experiences to keep ourselves moving forward and learning and growing, because change is going to happen. The luck in how we have that happen has a heck of a lot to do with our own attitude and our own perspectives, and having that awareness and understanding to be able to be tolerant of others and others' opinions, and allowing that and knowing that it's each and every one of us can have our opinions. It's how we express it. Today, we're going to have some good luck because that's what's in our cards. It's what we can decide to have happen too. Even if something really isn't the best through your day, there's going to be whatever it is of part of that that's going to bring us the good luck. It's the whole thing of what connects to this and that and fits in that jigsaw puzzle hole and all sorts of things. And I think sometimes we can just overthink it too much and put that brain matter into gear in the wrong direction or even in the wrong gear. So just allow, let the process work through in your day. We still do need to have our put our little thinking hat on and discernment, knowing whether it does feel right or not. And that's tuning into your gut feelings and your intuition as well, and moving through it with that as the base of where we're coming from our heart space as well, because that's really where we're living from. Those who are, be that person that lives from a heart space and shares that out to the world. I've felt a difference in having that happen for me. Most of the time is from that space. I'm not saying we always get it right all the time. Nobody does. Well, who did? Who does? In history even, we're living our lives as best we can. Keep doing that and growing. And put some of that good luck into action. It's what's going to be happening. And especially as with our outcome, here we are. We're going to be in the labyrinth. We're going to be in this maze. I saw that as the outcome. I thought, oh, yeah, goody, I'm going to get to play some games. Because it does tweak for me in that, the little puzzle books that used to have the mazes in them. I loved them. I still do. I love playing these sorts of games where you've just got to think and you look forward and you can see that path straight away or not, or got to discover it. And it's just so much fun. And it's why I loved seeing this card here. What's your purpose for today? Are you just wanting to wander around and discover as you go, or do you want to see the bigger picture and actually be in that center and have that contemplation time? Here we've got it. And this is where I thought, wow, like here's a meditative type state, because the labyrinths as such, you're working through what is a pathway in mindfulness. And once you're in that central space, you're actually spending some time in a meditation or a self-discovery or some sort of an aha moment. It happens and you're there. And then you work your way out again to restart, relive that day or whatever, once you're actually in a labyrinth. I've walked a few, not as many as I'd like to. I'd love to put one out on the front lawn, but it just hasn't happened yet. It's really moving into that space of, yes, contemplating what the pathway is. And that's what we've had. By the end of the day, we'll be able to contemplate that and feel, we'll see where the good luck has been. We'll see where our moments of thoughtfulness and mindfulness have been and what we've reflected on. It is spending that time and then knowing we've done the right thing with our choices of what we're going to continue as our responsibility, or what we're going to hand on to others or hand back to others, or what we might even take on ourselves that's new. It's all these decisions that are moving through our day. And because our home and our work life do interact, it really does become, oh, I've gone blurry. I'm not seeing any difference in my end at all, Sarah. It's so, oh, that's interesting. I've got full clear 5 bars and everything on my, and I'm a wired computer, not, it's into the Ethernet, not wireless. Interesting. So that's where I'm going to leave that for today. Hopefully I'm still not blurry, but coming across fully clear. Both my screens are fine, as in the 2 little windows in my screen. I don't have 2 screens. I'm not lucky like some others who have monitors everywhere. I've got a friend who uses 4 for his live streams. That's if Michael Daniels can hear me at some point. He does a wonderful job with his live streams. Anyway, just giving you a shout out there, Michael. He does Tinkering with Tech on YouTube. Look for that. And it's a wonderful community of the membership side of his. That's where I've learned a fair bit of what I'm doing as well with these tools. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Tomorrow morning it will be 8 o'clock again. And different set of cards. And it'll be interesting to know, actually, if you want to share for tomorrow morning, put in the notes in the next stream what you've experienced from today's, or even do it in today's. Once it's the end of the day, come back and just check in and see these cards and think, yeah, this is what's happened in my day, just to have some confirmation. If you want to do that in a more private setting, I do have Ros Boundy Psychic Medium Card Reading Group. It's a private group. Just message me or search for that, and you can ask to join if you're not already in there. It's not a paid one. It's just a space and place. I haven't worked it much yet. I'd love to be able to move that into the next level of interaction, really. So it'd be great to see you join in if you're not there yet. And, thanks, Deb. So if you're interested in that, just to pop in there. Eventually I will be doing some, little learning, teaching sessions in there and some live streams that are just for that group. So I'll leave you with that. I've got a few things to do before I head off today. So thank you for being here. You know how much I appreciate you being part of watching these live streams, and be the best person that you can be. As always, and namaste.